Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we're focusing on the thief in Perkus Maximus. By now we're assuming you've already seen the other two classes, so we're not going to bore you with features that affect all of the skill trees, like the new passives or lack of point sinks. However, there's a couple of key features that make the thief trees stand out. One is that the master perks for these trees are called prodigy perks, and as you can probably guess from their name, these aren't perks that you unlock at the very end of a skill tree. Instead, they're a shortcut perk that can be unlocked very early on, and it basically unlocks two other core, higher leveled perks from the tree. However, you still only get to choose one prodigy perk, but that doesn't stop you from unlocking the true potential of the other thief trees. Instead, you'll just get there a lot faster. The sneak tree probably comes with the most changes overall. Sneak damage now comes with a smoother curve, instead of being immediately strong and staying fixed. On top of that, you can now sneak attack with spells, but most spells make noise, so a beginner in sneaking will only be able to use silent ones. A master, however, will be able to use their full arsenal. And finally, sneak attacks also take your enemy's armor into account, and undead enemies are extremely resistant to sneak attacks in general. A lot of the perks in the tree focus on your ability to stay hidden while sneaking, but instead of simple percentage boosts, the new perks will actually change things like your enemy's view cones and your ability to move in different light sources. You'll also enhance your sneak attacks with things like paralysis or slowed time. On top of that, thanks to the integration with sneak tools, the sneak tree now unlocks several new abilities and features. You can now activate different enemies with certain weapons to instantly kill them or knock them out. This will only work if they're sleeping or not wearing a helmet, but a master assassin will be able to kill instantly at any time. You'll also unlock your ability to craft several new arrow types. These include the slightly more traditional fire and oil arrows. But there's also water arrows that distinguish any light sources, noisemaker arrows so you can easily manipulate your targets, and finally there's rope arrows, and they let you set up a temporary climbable rope, so you can get into the perfect position before you strike. These extra features really help flesh out sneaking in the game. There's so much more depth compared to vanilla, and it's definitely a lot of fun playing around with the new gadgets. The changes to the light armor are similar to that of the new light weaponry tree that we covered in the last video. It's also much more fleshed out, coming with 17 perks compared to 6 in the vanilla game. Because of that, it feels more like its own tree, instead of just a light version of the heavy armor tree. This time around, light armor perks will reward you for staying on your toes, and depending on the situation, you'll receive various buffs in movement and attack speed. This is part of an adrenaline rush system that encourages dodging, moving and killing. The more skilled you are as a player, the more direct rewards you receive from your perks. The rest of the perks focus on buffing light armor in other areas, giving you increased protection against lighter, more frequent hits, and also letting you manipulate your protection levels in return for increased mobility. Speechcraft is now fully entwined with shouts, so you'll level up the skill just by shouting, and then you can reinvest the XP gained into perks that directly boost your shouting ability. On top of that, the Speechcraft tree reorganises the vanilla perks in a more streamlined and rewarding way. You'll unlock the ability to pay for generic hirelings that accompany you when needed, and eventually you'll be able to turn most NPCs you like into your follower. On top of that also comes the familiar masquerade feature, where you're recognised as a member of any faction as long as you wear their clothes. And the grand facade system, where a dark cowl can completely hide your true identity. So Speechcraft mostly stays true to the vanilla game, but uses a few features that we've seen in other mods to flesh it out. The pickpocket tree is now called Dexterity. This is a new type of tree that combines pickpocketing and lockpicking into one skill. The pickpocketing side of things now comes with the ability to reverse pickpocket an item into an NPC's inventory, which can cause one of several different effects. As you unlock perks, you'll discover the recipes for several new items. These can all be placed into an NPC's inventory to do various things, including making them stumble, setting them on fire, or completely rendering a mechanical enemy useless. In the tree you'll also find perks that increase your carry weight, as well as making most essential thief gadgets weightless. The lockpicking perks are very similar to those in the vanilla game, but the tree continues to expand down the road of quick finger type abilities. This includes the ability to use all new katars, claws and knuckle weapons to steal gear mid-combat. Blocking or attacking at the right time can lead to instantly snatching your enemy's weapons and using it against them, which creates fast, fun and challenging gameplay. With the lockpicking tree gone, it opens up the way for a new Wayfarer tree. These skill changes were similar in Skyrim redone too, so if you've ever used that overhaul then you're probably familiar with some of the changes. Here you'll find perks that revolve around nature and exploration. Several lore related perks will increase your character's knowledge on Skyrim's inhabitants. On their own they're essentially useless, but when you combine them with some of the extra perks in the tree, you can reap the rewards of your gained knowledge. You can befriend creatures you know, summon animal followers, or just fight your enemies knowing their strengths and weaknesses. On top of that comes new hunter related perks that let you loot higher quality pelts, and in turn craft higher quality leather gear that's both stronger and lighter. And finally, the last few perks will let you become one with the world, allowing you to blend in with your surroundings or absorb nearby spiritual energy to help you in battle. And finally we come to the alchemy tree. What you'd usually find here is a bunch of perks that slowly make your potions and poisons more efficient. While this time around you'll unlock the ability to apply various poisons and explosives to other tools you unlocked in the other trees. So the alchemy tree is very much a sideline skill that synergizes well with the skill trees from all modules. You can create explosive arrows, poisonous traps, or just cover your own armor in poison to instantly retaliate any melee enemies. The rest of the tree focuses on the more traditional poison and potion growth, but again in a more streamlined and rewarding way. Small percentage boosts are much rarer, but instead you'll see a direct change in your character's abilities. You'll also eventually learn how to use your alchemy in the field with the portable station. So overall the Thief module comes with a huge number of new mechanics. Some small, others more significant, but this is probably the most fun of the three. Climbing a rope to reach the unreachable, or setting up tripwires and then firing a noisemaker arrow, only to watch most of them instantly fall to the ground. The limits of the module will go as far as your imagination lets them, so remember to use all of the new gadgets and make the most of what's available. So if you're interested in becoming a sneaky thief or just want to enhance your other skills, you can find links to Perkus Maximus down below. And as always, be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.